All right, we are recording. So welcome to my first Reiki call. I am very excited and honored to have you all here. And this is our virtual Reiki share so that I can connect with all the people that are not in Kansas City. They've been having Reiki circles at Unity Church of Overland Park for 17 years. But, yeah, I can't do that in other cities. So let's start by powering up the room. So draw the power symbol or any other Reiki symbol that you would like on the four walls, ceiling, and the floor. And then let's power up ourselves. You know, draw the power symbol over your trunk and small ones in front of each chakra, starting at the root. And if there's anybody that doesn't have Reiki, you can just imagine filling your aura and filling the room with love energy, because that's what Reiki is. Reiki is love. Makes it very easy. So, okay, then I'm just going to start with an opening prayer. Okay, Father, Mother God, Sweet Holy Spirit, we are grateful to be here to share and connect with Reiki energy, to share our love and light on the planet. We ask to be clear and open channels for only the highest and holiest Reiki energy, setting our personalities and egos aside. And we affirm that we are receiving as well as giving healing tonight. We join our hearts and minds together and send Reiki around our rooms, around our homes, or wherever we may find ourselves. And then out to bless our family, our friends, our pet, our coworkers, and the planet. Thank you, God. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, and welcome person from 314. What's your name? And I'll put your name on here.
Jan.
Jan. Okay, welcome, Jan, from St. Louis.
From St. Louis, yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, I would like to have each of us introduce ourselves and say a little bit about what you're doing with Reiki. If you're attuned to Reiki, this call is also open to people that are just interested in exploring Reiki or learning about Reiki. So I can see you all in a kind of a cool box view. So let's start at the top with Elaine. Can you say a little bit about yourself and what you've been using Reiki for? Oh, you've got your mute button on. Okay, well maybe let's start with Beth then.
Hi everyone, my name is Beth. I just finished my Reiki Master class certification with Karen in Kansas City. I'm using Reiki on myself, on others, and I'm hoping to start a practice here in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yay.
Yes.
Awesome. And you're a nurse too.
I'm a nurse too, yes.
Yeah, so that gives you a lot of opportunities to use Reiki.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, have you had the opportunity to use it? Let's see, I forgot, are you working in a clinic?
Clinic. Yeah, so I do telephone triage, so I've been sending distant Reiki to help with phone calls that I get as they come in.
Uh-huh. That's awesome. I bet that really helps. I've used that
Yeah.
before with my counseling clients when I talk to them on the phone too.
Yeah, it's yep, it's been good.
Okay, great. All right, Elaine, can you share what a little bit about you and what you do with Reiki?
Yes, I'm Reiki 1 and Reiki 2 certified. So I have one distant client that I do Reiki healing on every night. And he's in a medical center. So we exchange by email, to see how, he's doing and everything. But I started working with him in March, and so April is like the second month.
Mm-hmm.
And then I Reiki on my home because it's kind of been a remodel process. So whenever I try to keep all my rooms empowered with Reiki, like, do the weekly cleaning and empower them all with Reiki. And if I'm going to work on a project, I always call it, involve Reiki in that. So it'll go smoother.
Wonderful. I bet that is a huge blessing for the client that you're working with.
He seems to be getting better, so hopefully.
Yay, yay. And blessing your space. Reiki is so great for space clearing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Hello. Welcome.
How are you?
Hi, good. Valeria.
Yep.
Glad you're here. Okay, so we are just introducing ourselves, saying a little bit about what we are doing with Reiki. So can you share, Valeria?
Yeah, I can share. First, I started to my guinea pigs. It was my husband as my neighbors.
Perfect.
So then I figured out that I need a little bit more. And I went to local wellness center, yoga in Alverda. It was exceptional place, and they allowed me to practice because I told them that I'm a freshman. I need to know myself, and they allowed me to practice on the people who just after yoga coming out.
Uh-huh.
So, and now I already had probably 17 people, some of them returning, and I share with them information and they share with me. I immediately tell them that I'm a student and I want to hear how you feel, what you feel. And I still don't use any forms, and still I ask without payment because maybe it's bad, but I want to see people. I want to feel myself. I want to understand myself, how I feel. I want to introduce Reiki because 70% have no clue what it means, Reiki.
Uh-huh.
So, and somehow I gain some experience, and somehow more people know what it means, Reiki.
Wonderful. And
So
does your beautiful dog enjoy Reiki?
Yeah. Yeah, I try. Sometimes he's agree, sometimes not.
Uh-huh. Wonderful. Wonderful.
So this is my experience.
You could be using the Reiki documentation forms that are in the back of your Reiki 1 and 2 manual.
Mm-hmm.
There is a client information form and a session documentation form.
Okay, good. Thank you. I read in some article because I had some interesting client which I couldn't clean because every time I clean it's pop up, and then I talked to person who's in charge in this place who's actually her client, and she told me that it's a very difficult case, that it's okay, that anyway, and I started to read everything what is going on and what happened. And maybe next time I will ask her if she will ready to share because it's her client, it's privilege. And maybe it has connection with spirit attachment, which is very totally out of my ability. And I started to read, articles from magazines and how people can do like William Reid for people who has only degree first and second Reiki, how they can do. It's very complicated. Anyway, I have interesting cases.
Uh-huh. Well, wonderful. Good for you. How creative to work with people after yoga. And the Reiki Masterclass, you learn how to do the healing spirit attachments. And it's actually very easy. I mean, William even published the script for it in the magazine.
Good.
So you receive special empowerment with the Holy Fire energy that makes healing spirit attachments very, very easy to do.
Good. But first, I feel responsibility before to get master. I want to feel. I want to understand. I want completely believe that it works, that now I'm more and more believer.
Now that you've got some experience.
Yes, because it's a great thing for everybody, for me, for people, and more people know what it means, Reiki. And sometimes for me, it's very difficult to explain in few words known to people what it means, Reiki.
Yeah.
It's really difficult because I try to use like universal power and people do not know these words. It's like something out of mind. Actually, it's very much the same as if somebody told me 2 years ago, I would be out. So, and I'm trying to find very simple explanation when people asking what it means, Reiki.
Well, here's a new one. Well, okay, this is the easiest one. Reiki is love. All right.
I can say, but
when I work with children, when I taught my daughter and she was 4, I just told her Reiki is love, and that worked. Another very cool definition that one of my students came up with is it's embodied prayer. So it's like prayer in action, where we're sending this prayer energy for a longer period of time than people normally do a prayer. So it has the possibility of greater healing. You can also call it natural healing energy, or, for Christians, working with energy of Holy Spirit.
Yes, but many people who don't go to church, men are less sensitive to, they're a little bit out of this words. And this is, I always tell them, try, and then you will tell me, because best way to explain is to try.
That's right. Good idea. Now, one other idea is if you go on to Reiki Master and become a member of the Reiki Membership Association, you get a brochure as part of your membership benefits that you can print off and give to people with your information on it, which explains Reiki very simply to people.
That's good. It's very good. It's very useful. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you a lot.
Okay. Well, welcome, Kathleen. What are you doing with Reiki?
Well, I first studied Reiki with William Rand in 1990, and I became Reiki Master in 94.
Wow.
I've done every class. So
Awesome.
I had a massage therapy practice at about the same time, and then I combined that with Reiki. So I've been doing Reiki for a long time. And then 2 years ago, I went to a master class with Jessica Miller so I could get the Reiki fire, the Holy Fire. And so I've been working with that now for like 2 years too. And I've had a lot of experiences working with people. I don't do massage anymore, but I still do Reiki. I'm retired from my quote unquote normal job. I retired like a year and a half ago. And well, we were talking about, how to explain Reiki. I lived in the Caribbean for a couple of winters, and some of the people that friends that I had were kind of skeptical because of voodoo and all that kind of stuff. They didn't know what you're doing. And I would say, okay, I'm going to pray with you. And that was okay. That kind of, they understood that, and they could feel the energy. And I had one instance where this man, he had a lot of health problems, and I had done some Reiki on him, and the next day 2 or 3 more people came. What did you do to him? We wanted you. Can you do that to us? It was, everybody had certain things. One guy was very afraid. He had, some negative things happening in his life, and so I did some Reiki on him, and he said it all went away. It's kind of like the boogeyman.
Wow. Well, I remember thinking that when I first learned Reiki, and my sister talked me into it. I thought maybe she'd inducted me into some voodoo society.
Well, sometimes that's how people see it because they don't understand. So I like when I say I'm either going to pray with you or I had a good friend of mine when I first started doing Reiki. The first time I did treatment on her, she said, "I've never felt so loved." And I think I've heard that many times because I always tell people the very least that you will feel is relaxed and peaceful. If nothing else. I mean, you feel much more relaxed, you feel peaceful, and you feel loved. And I think almost anybody that's had Reiki would say that to some degree. And so I use that. Sometimes I'll say, well, maybe this will just help you more relaxed, be able to deal with whatever the situation, whether it's something physical or emotional or anxiety, those type of things. And I mean, I use it on myself that way too. If I'm freaking out or if I can't sleep or I just, that's right, I know how to do this.
Yes.
20 odd years, sometimes I still forget. But in the last year, I've gotten involved with another woman who lives near me. She didn't study with William Rand group, but she does Reiki, and she was involved with a bunch of people around the world, and they did a full moon Reiki through Facebook and over the internet, and we would stay connected for a 24-hour period during the full moon, and all of us would be sending Reiki. And we had several people in Europe. There's a woman in Japan, a man in Nepal, some in India, and we would be sending Reiki and keep in touch with each other on Messenger. And we would take turns to make sure over that period that people were sending Reiki. And on Facebook, they could sign up to receive Reiki, and they didn't necessarily have to say what it was for, but people could sign up and we would include them, and we would read all the names. And it was really powerful because you could feel it coming from everywhere. Wow. And I would always tell everybody in my family, and on Facebook they could sign up, so each of us would have a number of people from all over the world. So it was really powerful. We haven't done it for a couple months now because it's kind of, I don't know, people got busy, but it was unbelievable.
Wow.
I don't know. Facebook's a good place. There's I think it's called Reiki Healing Everywhere site on Facebook. It's closed, but you can get into it if you're a Reiki person. And there's lots of good information from people all over the world who are doing Reiki. So that's most recently what I've been doing, and I do Reiki clients around the area where I live. I go to their house, and some people come into my house, but I don't have an office anymore.
Okay. Reiki
Animals
Everywhere is the Facebook group, right?
Yeah, that's the one, I think. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to be sending out a follow-up email. Are you all on my email list? Is that how you found out about it?
Yeah, I'm on your email list.
Okay. All right. Reiki Everywhere. Okay. Got it. Yes. And then I'm developing a special list for Reiki Call too. Eventually, I'm going to send the follow-up to people on that. But for right now, the list is still being established.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Kathleen. All right. Let's see. I guess, Richard, I know you don't have any video. If you want to say anything, you can text it in the chat, about how you're using Reiki. Well, I guess, no, it's actually a private chat right now. Let's see. I'm sure there's a way to change it to a, oh, okay, now public. All right. Still learning the ins and outs of this. All right, so he's saying hello to everybody. Well, I'll give you a minute to type that. And all right, let's see. Jan, you're not muted. Would you like to share about how you're using Reiki?
Yes, can you hear me, Karen?
Yes, I can.
Good, I can't ever tell on my phone. I'm just learning about Reiki. I learned from my daughter-in-law in August last year. I was in Colorado where she lives, and she's a Reiki instructor in near Boulder, and she attuned me. So I have just been learning and getting more knowledge about Reiki. Your class, the Facebook group in January that you did, Karen, was just wonderful. If you know what I'm talking about, when we all told how long we did Reiki each day.
Yes. Yeah.
That was really fun and really helpful. I went to YouTube where I watched some videos and learned a little bit more about Reiki, and it just was amazing and helpful. And so I'm just kind of here to learn more.
Uh-huh.
And I know you're going to do a workshop in October in St. Louis, so I look forward to meeting you there.
Okay, super. Yes, I'll be there in October, and then I'll be there in November for Karuna Reiki Master, which is a more advanced level.
Great. Well, that's something to look forward to. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. All right. And then 303. Can you share your name and how you're using Reiki? It's the 303 area code. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hi.
I'm 303. Okay.
What's your
I
name?
had to get my phone charged.
Oh.
My name's Desi. And I am from Denver to Kansas City. But I'm interested in getting into Reiki for some animal work. So I'm just very new to hearing more, and I thought I'd jump on the call to see what I could learn from the group. I've had Reiki done a few times in Colorado, and it was kind of a half clairvoyant Reiki session with the actual Reiki, so that was really cool. It definitely got me to, have a hands-on experience of how it works. But I've just kind of come into my own of kind of wanting to tap into my own healing energies. So I've kind of been just kind of testing the waters with my animals myself that I own. So I'm looking into possibly taking a class.
Super. And you're here in the city?
Yes. Yes, I am.
All right.
So,
super. Well,
yeah.
I'd like to invite you to come to Reiki Circle, where you can, meet other Reiki people and receive a session on a love offering basis.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
The second and
you do it every Monday?
No, it's the second and fourth Mondays of the month at Unity Church of Overland.
Okay.
And
okay.
If you're on my email list, then I'll send you the notification about it.
Yeah, I'm on there. So.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I'd love to come for a spring circle. Okay,
cool. And hopefully you heard a little bit earlier about, we were talking about some definitions of Reiki. Valeria was saying it's hard to explain it, and so we.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that issue over the holiday weekend.
Yeah. Well.
So.
Natural healing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, all right, great. Hey, Olivia, are you able to unmute yourself and share how you've been using Reiki?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I've just been kind of having fun with it over the past year. I actually decided to mix it in with my artwork, which has been my biggest thing I've been doing over the past year.
Wow.
I crushed quartz crystals and fused the crystals with Reiki, mixed that into my paint, and then let's see, as I paint, I do Reiki as I go through the whole process. And then when I'm finished, I actually do like a blessing and then do like 30 more minutes of Reiki. So basically the ultimate goal is to create healing art.
Yeah, and I posted pictures of it, and it's beautiful.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's been fun. I've really been enjoying that. That's been my biggest hobby with it, I guess I could say. And then I've also been working with my animals and family members. I just had a cousin come over and get a session the other day, and that's been a lot of fun. And I think, like somebody said before, you know, the biggest thing is explaining it. That's the hardest thing, to get people to understand what it is. But once they experience it, you know, everybody seems to kind of be open to it and into it. I run into a little bit of sometimes the people in my family who are a little bit more religious, they kind of, since they don't understand it, they're more standoffish to it.
Yes.
But everybody else who has their curiosity, they tend to open up and like, oh, cool, let's see what it is, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that's just the biggest one that I've come into, just not being able to explain it to them as well, to where they could understand what it is without offending their beliefs, because it's not. I try to explain that it's God. It's the God energy. It's the essence, you know, of all of that, and I'm just a conduit kind of thing. But you know, I think that's the only thing I've really run into is just that part of my family, explaining that to them. And then and I have my 6-year-old asking me for yogurt. Hold on just a sec. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. I've done a lot of experimentation, a lot of distant Reiki on friends who are going through chemo and things like that. And then a family member who went through chemo, I did a lot of distant Reiki with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And during the process of after their chemo, I would tell them just to kind of imagine white light running through their veins as I was sending the Reiki, so that maybe that was kind of like, as a combination between the two, we could probably make it stronger. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
So,
Great.
but yeah, that's what I've been doing. So.
Wonderful. A good resource for your Christian friends and family members is christianreiki.org. It is something William Rand developed to answer Christian questions about Reiki.
Okay.
It has Bible verses on there. One of the biggest ones is what Jesus said, that all this that I do, you will do and more.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's awesome.
And there's lots of examples of Jesus doing hands-on healing. So you'll find some testimonials too from, I think, a nun and pastors who do Reiki.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that in. What was that again that you said it was?
It's christianreiki.org. I'll add that to my resource follow-up email. Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I think I'm really enjoying it. I hope to get my master within the next year, you know, or so. Whatever I can work out. And I love talking about it. I put my cards out at the gym, so we'll see if I get anybody interested.
That'll be
you
good.
know, just putting it out there, seeing what I can do. And I'm talking to all my friends and passing out cards. So I'm going to start building it. And I've got my table set up in my home office. So we'll see where it goes.
Awesome. And I think you had people that wanted to buy your art if you make anything for sale.
Yes, actually, I have a lot of people very interested right now. So I'm trying to catch up and then also get that done and sold. And I'm doing one right now for a friend of mine, the one who's going through chemo right now. So he's all into the Japanese stuff. So I'm doing the koi fish and all the sacred geometry and all that kind of fun stuff. And I'm actually going to go up to Arkansas and go dig in the quartz quarries and get my own crystals to crush. So I thought that'd be a lot less expensive and a lot more fun too.
Yes. One of my favorite crystal mines and stores is Wagner, Wegner.
I'll have to check it out. All right.
Yeah. And then, there's the Ron Coleman mine, but I like that too. I'm a fan of shopping for the crystals.
You're not so much into digging.
Digging is fun, but they're covered with this junk that has to be soaked in an acid rinse.
Yeah.
And that's the part I don't like. And then you don't know what you got until you get it home, and you may have hauled home a box of rocks.
Yeah.
Right. That's the other thing. Yeah.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
So, well, cool.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Well, we're going to get to questions in a minute, but I thought for about 5 minutes, let's just send each other Reiki. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Richard has joined in. All right. In his chat, he says he's using Reiki with animals, practicing on himself and some neighbors, still sorting things from the last class, coming down from the energy high from the class. Okay, good. Working on getting back to that energy, keeping it up on a daily basis again. Yes, Reiki for yourself every day is the basis of your Reiki practice. And started to use Reiki to sleep better, and it works. Absolutely. Yes. Oh, well, hey, I guess before we start the Reiki, I'll share about how I've been using Reiki. I had droopy eyelid surgery, things started falling with age. So I had that about 6 weeks ago. I still can't wear any eye makeup because my eyes are a little bit irritated. But before the surgery, I got really anxious, because it's my eyesight. And I had a few little panic attacks. So I gave myself Reiki and I diffused lavender, and each time was able to pull myself out of it within 10 minutes. So that was really good. I hadn't had panic attacks before, and they were certainly no fun. As a counselor, I guess it's good to kind of know what some of my clients go through. But I've been giving a lot of Reiki to my eyes. And receiving a lot of Reiki because 8 days after my surgery, I had a 3-day class on Holy Fire Karuna to teach. So when I came out of surgery, my eyes were swollen shut. So I wanted to make sure that I was going to be able to be in good enough shape to teach. I was a little worried about that. That was also part of the panic. Anyway, thank God for Reiki. It's such a useful life tool. I don't know, can't imagine life without it. So, okay, I think that we are ready now. So it's about 7:36. So let's power ourselves up, and anybody that doesn't have Reiki, just put your hands together, call on healing energy from source by whatever name you call it, and activate it, and let's intend to send it to each other and anyone that listens or watches this call. And to the person who joined us, we're sending Reiki to each other right now. Okay, so let's bring that to a close. I don't know about you all, but that felt really powerful to me. Wow, that's awesome. So I wanted to welcome the person calling from 214 area code. Can you share your name?
Sabira Mohammed.
Sabira? Oh, hi, Sabira.
Oh, hi, Karen.
Before we started sending Reiki to each other, everybody shared how they are using Reiki. So could you take a moment and share what you're doing with Reiki?
I have not been as regular doing the Reiki, but been trying. So that's why I wanted to. I'm so glad you started this. This will help me to restart my Reiki again.
Oh, good. Good. It's never too late to start doing Reiki again.
Yes.
You know, start by giving yourself Reiki every day.
That's the hardest part. I don't know how to do it on myself.
Oh, okay. Well, put your hands together. Ask the healing energy to turn on and put your hands on your body.
Okay.
It's very simple. That's all there is to it. And if you remember any of your Reiki 2 symbols, you can draw those on your hands and then place your hands on your body.
Okay. I remember the symbols.
Okay, so draw the power symbol on your hands or the mental emotional symbol, and then just place your hands anywhere on your body.
Okay. doing it right now.
Yeah, good. That's it. Very easy. Okay. Well, I guess while we're talking about that, you know, you can put your hands anywhere in your body to give yourself Reiki. The typical positions are over the face, your ears, the top of the head, the throat, the shoulders, the chest, the solar plexus and stomach, pelvic bowl, hips, knees, and feet.
Okay.
But you don't have to do all of those. You can put Reiki where you feel tense, tight, or where you have pain in your body, and just do it for a few minutes every day. I recommend at least 10 minutes a day.
Okay.
So, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to jump into the question that Valeria sent in. And that is, all right, if I have 3 clients, one after another, and the last one myself, what steps can I skip? You know, like signing for the room and so forth. So after you power up your room, you don't have to do it again. And after you power up yourself, you know, you don't have to do it again. It is important after every client to do that dry bathing, Kinyoku, you know, brush, 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 brush. You know, it's important to do that. You know, it's so if you've got the clients back to back, then you don't need power up again. But you can. I will, you know, I will usually power my hands up before every client, even if I have several sessions back to back, just to give it some more power. But, you know, feel into it, and if it feels like all the energy is really flowing, you don't need to do that.
Thank you.
Okay. And then should the client take off jewelry before the session? I don't really bother with jewelry unless it's big and clunky and in the way. Now, if a person has a belt on with a belt buckle and they're going to be turning over, it can be good to have them take the belt off, because the buckle can poke into the massage table and damage it. It is important for them to empty their pockets, because your scanning will be affected by whatever's in their pockets. So if they have keys in there, then you're going to feel an energy disturbance where those keys are. I often joke in class that they could use Reiki at the airport, and we could find the metal on people. That it feels different. And then your last question was, if sometimes, you know, you feel heat in some places on your client, is it normal, or do you need extra protection? So it is normal. If you find your folder that I gave you on Biosin scanning, there's 5 levels of Biosin. The first is heat in your hands, where you're feeling heat above normal body temperature, and that indicates that part of the body needs Reiki. The second level is strong heat, the kind that can make your palms sweat. Normally you don't feel that unless you have your hands on the body. You know, you don't just feel it with scanning, but, you know, sometimes your hands will sweat, or your body may even start to sweat. Occasionally I've just been dripping sweat, and either the person is really needing Reiki, or they're just very open to Reiki. They might be very healthy, but just a really good receiver. You know, so it could be either one, I found. And then the third level of Byosin is a kind of a tingly sensation in the hands, you know, or it can feel prickly a little bit. The fourth level is cold, where your hands feel cold. If they're cold, actually, that means that the energy there is blocked. And that means that the body needs more Reiki there, because you want to get that warmed up. And then the fifth level is pain in your hand, where it feels uncomfortable to have your hand there. And it can sometimes run pain all the way down your arm. If that happens, I take my hands off and I go like this. Cleanse, cleanse. And then I put my hands right back on there, because that part of the body needs a lot of Reiki. And it would be ideal to give Reiki there until the pain goes away. Now, occasionally that's been too uncomfortable, so I've moved to a nearby spot to give Reiki. Now, those are the levels. Now, is that everything you can feel? No. You know, you might feel like a push or a pull or thicker energy, like you're running your hand through a fog, or it just might feel heavy, or if you see things, you know, you would see maybe some dark energy there, or blocks. So do you need any other clarification on that, or does that answer your question?
Yeah, but my point is sometimes together with hands, my body feels, and I don't know, is it okay or not okay? Because it happens not often, but when I feel, I put my hands on and I feel some kind of heat, at the same time, my body feels in particular place.
Uh-huh.
And
so
then I move different place and it's already different situation. But sometimes I had client, I fell around her neck and here like hot flush. I fell, and when we finished session, I told her that little bit I feel, but I hear a little bit of disturbance, and it's okay now. We're clean. You're good. And she told me that, hey, she had hot flashes, particularly in this area. And this is what started to concern me, because I felt exactly hot flash. And she had exactly in this area hot flash. And I started to think, did I get something? Or what?
Okay. So that just means that you are an empath, a person who can pick up other people's sensations and feelings. That is actually a very handy skill to have, because you can feel what is going on in their body. And if you're doing Reiki and you start feeling, you know, hot in your chest, then that means that's where you need to go give Reiki.
Okay.
Okay. The main thing is knowing that it is not yours. So always check in with yourself before the Reiki session and see how you're feeling. That way it'll be easier to know if you pick something up. I wrote a whole article on Reiki for empaths. It was just in the current edition of the Reiki News magazine, and part 2 of it is going to come out in June. So I will attach that as a follow-up in my follow-up email. Just making a note here. So that's perfectly okay. When you're done with the Reiki session, do those sensations go away?
Yeah. It's immediately go away. As soon as I moved to different part of the body, it was perfect. Nothing. But I was actually very, very surprised that after when she told me that particularly this area she has, which is very unusual place, but she felt and exactly what I felt. But then it was okay. No problem.
Okay, great. Who else has had the sensations where they've felt what was going on in the client's body while they were giving Reiki? Anybody else? Yeah.
Bye.
What, Kathleen, you have?
Oh, yeah, I've had that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And does it clear after the Reiki session?
Yeah, I usually know that it's their issue, and so like you said, that's an area that might need more attention, and it gives you a clue as to what sometimes they'll even tell you before or after that what their particular physical issue or emotional, and then I can kind of tell if I'm feeling it myself, then I just work on that part.
Mm-hmm.
Body.
Great. Beth, were you going to add something?
Yeah, I mean, I've had the sensations in my hand, like I get pain in my hand where the person needs when I'm doing that voice on or scanning. So I've had that experience.
Uh-huh. Okay, and yours clears after the session?
Yeah, usually after I give the Reiki, it's gone.
Uh-huh. Great. And if you had any problem with clearing it afterwards, you always remember to do your Kinyoku, your dry bathing. You can wash your hands. You can put your hands on the ground. And if you are still having, carrying anything on into the evening, then you can go take an Epsom salt bath. And that'll help to clear it. And grounding, any sort of grounding exercises will also help to release it. Okay, well, does anybody on the call have any other questions or comments that you would like to share?
The grounding you were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
I find that valuable in a lot of cases. I mean, especially after I do Reiki, I know when I first started doing it, it feel really spacey. Usually the person receiving Reiki would feel spacey too, so I'd make sure that I would ground myself and teach them how to do it. So otherwise you kind of go off wandering into the world, not back on the ground. It's like the one, I don't know, I learned it from William, but I established my divine presence on earth.
Yeah.
I just use that energy, and I mean, it's come in handy in other areas of my life too. It's like even if you're doing yoga or any type of thing that involves energy, if you can just ground yourself, it gets you back connected to the earth, and I just find that very valuable.
Great. So what Kathleen is referring to is the Reiki moving meditation that you learn in advanced Reiki training, where we've got a couple of affirmations on I establish my divine presence on earth and I accomplish my divine purpose on earth, combined with the Yasui master symbol. So that is a really wonderful moving meditation, which is a nice complement to all the sitting meditations that are now in the Reiki Master class. Yes, Valeria?
I remember that when I worked free for yoga in this wellness center, the boss gave me free 4 sessions of yoga. And first time in my life, I try yoga for beginners because I thought I'm not straight. I will break my bones and leave them there. So anyway, first time I did yoga for beginners, for child. Anyway, the point is, after yoga, within the yoga, I felt how my energy, how sensation was after yoga that somebody put vacuum here and cleaned me. And heat was coming out of my hands, out of my head, within the yoga, out of my feet, soles. And after that, she asked me, how do you feel? I said, I feel clean. I feel like precisely somebody put a tube on me and drain everything. And it was actually amazing feeling, because I figure out that maybe this is one of the source how you can clean, because you can feel it inside.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, Reiki and yoga are a great
Interesting combination.
A wonderful combination. Well, we are coming to the end of our time, so I am just so excited to have you all here and to get to see you all. It's so much fun, and we'll be doing this again next month. I haven't looked at my calendar yet to see when it's going to be, but in general, is evening a better time for you all than during the day?
Yes.
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 Yeah. Yes.
Okay, all right. So it will depend on my travel schedule. It'll either probably be a Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. So I'll be sending out the announcement about it, about a week before, and inviting questions again. And sending Reiki to each other. That was an awesome part. My only challenge was I have to kind of keep my eyes open, so if somebody joins in by a call, they don't just think that, what are they doing? You know, how come they're talking? So I have to keep my eyes open so that I can welcome them and say, hey, we are sending Reiki, because if you can't see us, then you don't know what's going on. And playing music in the background on Zoom doesn't work very well. So anyway, so send you all Reiki blessings, and thank you all for being part of my inaugural Reiki call group, and I'll be sending you all the follow-up email with the recording of this and the resources, the links to the things that we talked about tonight.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Karen.
All right.
Thank you.
Karen.
Good.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.